gosh, we gotta have a zip line. We've done zip lining before, right? It's not that scary.
B, this is G.
This is G.
We are here looking at a pretty crazy project in front of us, aren't we?
I think it's gonna be a blast. This is John with Universal Aquatics. I hope everyone is doing well. Today we're going to be talking about a project that we're going to be doing at Shaquille O'Neal's house. We are at Shaq's house now. So back here behind me is the pond that we actually just built maybe 3 or so years ago. It's got some patina now. The plants are getting settled. Everything's looking great. But I wanted to tell you guys a little bit of backstory about this other project and about what we're going to be doing over here with the earth bottom pond. So like I said, this guy's been here about 3 years. It's got several thousands of pounds of assorted size stone and gravel in this guy, a well infiltration intake bay, which is just a massive modified skimmer box, the collection area. It's got 4 pumps on it, jets, it's got a beach. It's got these customized Superman logo spheres at the very top, 3 of those guys shooting out water. So it lights up at night, color changing lights. It looks fantastic. Now the other pond, we are going to do something a little bit similar, but it is a lot bigger. So we're gonna have basically just a larger version of the pond that we have back here with a few slight modifications. We've got waterfalls coming in off the hill. We've got some a beach on this side too. Like I said, it's gonna be about 4.5, 5 feet deep. And we're gonna have massive flow. It's 4 pumps, but they're bigger pumps than what's over here. So the waterfall is only gonna be about 30 feet long. Honestly, it's to scale with everything else on the property. So this waterfall behind me is a lot bigger, but the other one on the other side is to scale with what we have over there. So I don't know if you guys saw the footage from the first build, but this was a massive undertaking. Certified Aquascape Contractors left and right. We built this guy in 4 days, and then we put the stairs back here and the pathway in another day. So 5 days total, but I'm telling you, this was an experience to say the least. It rained almost every day we were here. It was in May, Memorial Day week of 2020. And once it starts raining on a fresh job site here in Georgia, with this Georgia clay, it just turns sloppy really quickly. So we're sloughing through the mud, walking around, pushing wheelbarrows with stone in it, falling over because we can't get a good traction. It was just a mess, but at the same time, it was really fun. It's something about getting together with your brothers, with your tribe, right? And you're knocking these projects out. There's something fulfilling about that, satisfying. Like you're all bonding together to get to that one common point at the end. We are about 5 o'clock in the afternoon on day 2. The rain has stopped. Got some amazing driftwood out of Tennessee getting in there. Ed the pond professor is going to be coming down from Chicago from Aquascape here in the next few months, and we're going to be looking at this other pond over here, the earth bottom pond, and we're going to be making some decisions here on the fly in terms of what needs to be done, and I think we have a few surprises in store for you guys. So it looks like Ed just got here. The pond professor. Let's go say hi. How are you guys? Good. What's up, man?
How are you, man?
How are you? Good. Tony? Hey, this is John with Universal Aquatics here with Ed, the pond professor, the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, down from Chicago way.
You got it.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and it's a great day to be down in Georgia. It's still cold, not as bad as Chicago.
You brought it with it.
I think I did, unfortunately. At least I didn't bring rain or snow.
Yeah.
So a little cold weather we can take, but we are here looking at a pretty crazy project in front of us, aren't we?
Yes, so here's what we're doing, guys. There is a water feature that is here. It's an earth bottom pond, and we are going to be ripping this thing out here in a few months, and we're gonna just start over essentially, right?
You 100% start over. Doesn't hold water.
No.
Water quality's awful. we have to get life into it. So right now it's a water body, but there's nothing living inside of it. So we want to turn it into one of our aquascape ecosystems. We're going to put in a membrane. We can control water quality. We're going to put in a filtering system, a pumping system. We're going to bring in all that beautiful stonework, waterfalls, and we got to get rid of this shape. I mean, right now it's just this big giant blob of a circle. There's really no shape to it. Twists and turns and walkways and bridges and all types of cool stuff. So it's going to be a ton of work, but it's going to be worth it.
So we just met with Jay of Court Dreams, and he is going to be coming in with his team. They actually built this awesome basketball goal in the back for Shaq, and it's got his graphics and a logo and all this stuff, Hall of Fame, you know, things on the floor. You're literally playing on that. So it's pretty neat, but he's going to be coming in and he's going to be doing some putty greens and some other things. Yeah. And we were just talking to those guys, and oh my gosh, when you put a lot of creative people in a room, you just start feeding off of that energy. So what do you think? We're going to be coming back in a few months, I guess?
We are. So we'll be coming back in spring. We're going to drain water out. Because we have natural groundwater, we're going to have to put in a drainage system underneath with a pumping system to pull water away, and then we're going to have to bring in a lot of soil, reshape stuff. So we'll try to utilize as much as we can here, but we'll probably have to bring in soil during that time as well to kind of reshape and get the elevations and all that stuff where we want it. Working with Jay and his team, I mean, they, like you said, tons of creative ideas, trick shots, different elevations, greens going from one to another. So we're going to have to really be conscious of all that stuff, shooting elevations to make sure that everything works for them, because they're going to be coming in at the tail end of our project to start doing theirs. So when we finish and they finish at the same time, so there's going to be a lot of juggling stuff around. But if we can get a lot of that initial groundwork taken care of well before the rest of the team arrives, I think that's going to be the only way we're going to be able to pull this thing off.
So what are the waterfalls going to look like?
The waterfalls are going to be spectacular. So number one, of course, right? So we're going to be utilizing that back section. We want it visible from the home. We also want, so as they come out of the house and they have that beautiful koi pond up front, we have pathways. So if we can kind of create these viewing lanes where they could actually see some glimpses of waterfalls and things like that, it's going to draw them from the home all the way out over into these areas. So then we just have to make sure that we have the right pathways and things for them to get from point A to point B. But we want to have it highly visible. So I think we have, there's going to be some challenges here. And again, we don't want it to look too crazy or out of place. We don't want to build up a massive earthen mound over there where, you know, it's not going to fit. So we're going to have to play around with that a little bit. Thankfully, we do have, this is all kind of high, so I think we could recess the pond down a little bit, which will automatically give us a little bit more grade change to work with. But again, that's some of that stuff. We're going to be shooting some of those elevations, you know, when we're here with the machines and start cutting. You know, that's what's going to tell us what we can and can't do.
So what do you think about this grotto idea?
I think the grotto is insane. Number one, we've done it before. We've done it a few times. I think they're spectacular. So now we just have to figure out to see if we can make it work.
I'm more curious about the zip line idea and how we can incorporate that in here, if that will even work. You know?
Well, the elevations work. I mean, from that tree house, I mean, there's a big elevation change from there down. So I think that'll work. The challenge is a guy of Shaq's size.
That's what I was going to say.
I mean, that's a good steel cable.
He's the biggest man I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, so there's going to be challenges, but every project has it.
I think it's going to be a blast.
Looking forward to it.
It's going to be a blast.
All
okay.
Right.
What's up, guys? John with Universal Aquatics, here with my son Elijah back at Shaq's house in McDonough, Georgia. Ed Beaulieu, the pond professor, left it's probably a month and a half or so ago, but he's gone back to Chicago, and we are here because I wanted to show Elijah the existing pond that we are going to be renovating here for Shaq here coming up in a few months. And I wanted to show him because he was here helping us out tremendously on the first go around when we built Shaq the koi pond a couple years ago. All right, so it's time for the tour. Let me show him what we got. So as you can see, this pond is filled up. Whenever we were here last time, Elijah, it was all the way pretty much empty. This Casco fountain wasn't even on. So as you can see, guys, we got a lot of grading to do. Even all this over here, I'm glad it has rained quite a bit. So now we can see this. All this water gets trapped back here. So we need to regrade this a little bit so all the water will go down essentially where it needs to go instead of just getting stuck.
On the way over here, I was thinking about how different this project was compared to other stuff we've done in the past. It just didn't feel like work. It was, you know, 20, 25 guys just getting after it, getting stuff done, having fun, laughing. So yeah, it didn't really feel like work. At the end of the day, you know, I'm not at that age yet, but these guys are, you know, popping open a beer and just talking and having fun.
So we're gonna reshape all this over here. So the wetland filter is gonna be up there on that spot, and then it's gonna serpentine around. We're gonna have to choke in and bring in the soil quite a bit to get the shape that we want, because that's a lot different than what is here currently. So we're gonna have a beach over here, kind of where we're standing now. So we're gonna have to do something with the grade here. So all of this is not getting washed in, because that's not gonna be ideal. So you can already see our footprints. When you're coming down a pathway, you don't wanna slough through the mud. Right over here in this one spot, so you can see the main waterfall is gonna be over there, the tee box is gonna be over there, and there's gonna be some other putting green area over here. They're also gonna have some areas where they're gonna be connecting, what do they call them, some trick shots. They're gonna be connecting some stuff over there to come in to more putting green areas over here. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this or not, but some guys are talking about having a DJ booth out here, like an outdoor DJ booth. I don't know if that's gonna work. That's out of my realm of capability here. I don't know anything about that. But essentially what I still wanted to do was just cut out this little area over here and kind of create a little carved in nook, like a built-in little seating area. So guys can come out here and just hang out and watch the waterfall that's ultimately gonna be on the other side. I remember on the last build, we came in here and we said, okay, we're gonna do this. And then Greg, Woodstock the pond guy, had an idea what he wanted to do. All of us got together and immediately changed it. We looked at the hillside, the existing topography, and we just decided that we needed to maximize, or utilize rather, the hillside that was already over there. So then we put in the waterfall up in a different direction than Greg initially thought. Which, when you get a lot of people together, creativity flows, the juices flow, right? So we ended up coming up with a different plan, and it turned out pretty good. But I'm excited to work with Elijah. Hopefully his schedule will allow it for us to get together on this thing and work together again, because it's always fun working with family, right? So on this side over here is where the waterfall is essentially going to be starting. It's not going to be that high based on the elevation that's there, but the main filtration unit, the wetland filter, is going to be on this side, kind of coming through here, snaking in, and then making its way down here. Now this is not going to be this wide at all, based on the existing plans over there, what we talked about. So we're going to be bringing all of this in to create, like I said, this more serpentine effect, to kind of give it some flavor, some places to hang out. But we're going to be reusing all of the stone, 100% of the stone. This is fantastic to use in the water feature itself. And all these round rock we're going to be using in the feature as well. I don't know exactly what's going to happen to this space over here. Look at this. I've been noticing these guys around the property a little bit. Here, flip that over. I want to see if somebody wrote on the bottom of it. They did, didn't they? What's it say?
B-L-Y. This is G.
There's a G? Well, the reason I wanted you to flip it over is because there was one over there in the main waterfall on that side, and I flipped it over, and it was from somebody drew that on there from 1982, I think. I forgot to show you something up here that we talked about doing. When we started talking to these guys the last time we were here, they said, oh my gosh, we gotta have a zip line. I don't know if we could do that. That's out of my realm of expertise. But this sure would be a perfect spot. If we did a zip line right here, would you do it? Would you do it? We've done zip lining before, right? It's not that scary. So we'll see what we can get accomplished here, but there are gonna be a lot of guys here. There are gonna be more people here on this project than there was on the last one. But Ed and I, and maybe a few other aquascape contractors, are gonna be coming out maybe a week or so prior and getting the foundation work kind of finished up so the other guys can come in here and just start slinging rocks, getting everything set up. There's going to be quite a bit of work that has to get accomplished in a really short amount of time whenever those guys come. But I'm really excited about getting to work with the aquascape guys again, because honestly I learned so much from those folks every time we work with them. And I hope that Elijah back here is able to work with us, especially, well, if not every day, hopefully every other day, something like that. So we'll be seeing you guys in a few months. Take care.